Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the Vancouver Sevens. We are ready to go. New Zealand versus South Africa, the opening match for the men's side of the draw. Now, New Zealand and South Africa, they also have Ireland and Great Britain in their pool, so it's going to be hugely important that these two sides start off well. Currently, South Africa ranked 5th in the Sevens rankings. New Zealand are 6th, so there is a lot on the line. Both of these sides want to make it out of their group. Whether or not that can happen is a whole different story. We have got Novmum in there saying good morning, welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. For the South Africans in their starting lineup, it will be Ryan Oosterhuizen, Tristan Lades, Schutten van Wyk, Selvin Davids, David Benjamin Brits, also Zane Davids and Roscoe Speckman. Huge amount of experience for him. And the 7 circuit for the New Zealanders, Cody Vai, Shay Clark, Brady Rush, Akulia Rokalisoa, Sam Dixon, Scott Curry and Joe Webber. So same can be said about their side. A lot of experience across the board for the Kiwis. The last 5 matches between these two sides, 4 of which have gone in favour of New Zealand. So it will be interesting to see if that is what we see a repeat of in Vancouver. Mr. Bravestone has said it's not live in Fiji again. That is a massive shame. Because, of course, we have seen time and time again how much the Fijians get behind the Sevens. Did you watch the Chiefs vs Crusaders game? I actually did not. Believe it or not, I was at a wedding during the time that match was taking place. I know the score, but I have no idea how it got there, so I'm hoping to catch a replay at some stage over the weekend. But yeah, opening game of Super Rugby alongside the second T20, both taking place at the same time while I was away for said wedding. But the two sides making their way out onto the field now for Vancouver. Now, a lot of the players, in fact, I would say maybe 90% of the players who are out there on the park. Of course, seeing as this is at BC Place, this is artificial grass. It is that kind of AstroTurf type feel, so a lot of the players have got the tape over the elbows and the knees to try and prevent the amount of ripping that you do have of your skin when playing on a type of surface like this. In football, it's normally not too bad, mainly because they have got their longer sleeves on, plus normally you've got the long socks. Your knees are still a little bit exposed though, but only really the goal celebrations that you see the players going on their knees in football. But Francisco, the Uruguayan, will be in charge of this matchup, and South Africa will be kicking off from right to left to get us underway for the Vancouver Sevens. Now Selvin Davids just taking his time. The crowd almost having an eerie silence waiting for the kickoff here, but I'm sure as soon as it does kick off, New Zealand and the South African fans will be well and truly getting behind them. But it is kicked off long by South Africa. Scott Curry takes that one inside of his own 22. Tackle well by David Benjamin Brits, one of the newer names on the South African 7 side. Great rush tackle there from Schutten van Wyk on Akulia Rokalisoa. New Zealand under pressure currently only 10 metres out from their try line. Defence from Roscoe Speckman is strong. New Zealand doing well to clean out in the breakdown, getting rid of Brits, now looking for the inside ball. Going backwards at the moment and deciding to actually opt for a kick from, I think that was Joe Webber. One of the experienced veterans now going for the grabber in behind. Selvin Davids, space opens up. That is why New Zealand normally don't kick, because they have conceded the try. The first one of the contest, and straight through the gap was the superstar Selvin Davids, already scoring 6 tries throughout 2024. No one was going to be catching him, but the grubber was good. Set up nicely for Selvin Davids. New Zealand's defence, just like the rest of the series so far, caught lacking in the opening moments. Great start to the match for South Africa and Selvin Davids. Like I mentioned, this is such a tough group. You've got Ireland, who at the moment are playing some of their best rugby sevens, and you've also got Great Britain, who haven't been in the best form, but they can cause upsets. A little bit similar to what we see for Canada on the 7 circuit. They've got the potential of winning games, but it's just whether or not they can do so. Selvin Davids, not only does he get to take the conversion, he also now gets to kick off his own try. 7-0. Well, they're just talking about the New Zealand coaching staff. I think that they have got one coach who is away, but he will be back for LA, which is next week. We are covering that onto the channel as well. Now Scott Curry passes back across to Brady Rush. Going through Cody Vi. Showing off some good play, good pace here. Shilton Van Veek was just chasing him a little bit casually. Looks like he doesn't want to commit to that tackle. Wants to still be available as a defensive option, but Akulia Rokalisoa now testing out his step. Ball on the inside of Shay Clark. Being tackled well. And he has knocked the ball on. A nice bit of work from Cody Vi. Being able to go through Shay Clark. Frustrated at the moment. Talking about whether or not it was an easy tackle. I believe Shay Clark was tackled after he did have his hands on the ball here. We'll see a replay though. Just to see. Nah, that's completely fine. Beautifully done by David Benjamin Brits. Cody Vi just not able to hold it. He knew it as well. As soon as that ball slipped through the fingers, he wasn't quite going to be able to get to it. So quite a bit of support for New Zealand in Canada by the looks of it. Now, Sullivan Davids. So we're going to have a scrum reset. They're just talking about David Benjamin Brits actually breaking his rib the first ever training session he went to. We know that the Blitzboks, they're a physical team, and it sounds like even training does fall into that same category. But Ricardo James Duarte, of course, not actually available, I don't believe, for these matches. He's considered as the spare. I don't know if that's due to an injury or whether that is just because they have too many numbers. I'd assume he's injured, because or else you definitely want to have him in there somewhere. Massive scrum from New Zealand, winning it against the feed. Now Brady Rush, quick hands. Weber on the outside to Cody Vi, who will run it in for the New Zealanders. Selvin David's decent effort to try and stop him, but Cody Vi gets the first try of the match for New Zealand. It's going to be a seesaw, I would say, of points between these two teams. But they both know how crucial these points are in the overall scheme of the table. Of course, the best ranked third place and the second best ranked third place teams will be going through to the quarterfinals as well. A nice work from Cody Vi to score the try for the Kiwis. And the assist does go to Joe Weber. I believe this is his first league back in the Sevens in almost a year, if not maybe just that little bit longer. But the kick is unsuccessful. Comes just short of the post. Now with 2 minutes 20 remaining in the first half, South Africa still with that 2-point lead over the All Blacks Sevens. And good evening / morning, says please welcome in, mate. If you are doing extremely well, I hope you're, that was almost English. Hope you're excited for the Six Nations tonight. 2 games back to back. Ireland versus will be the Welsh, I think. And then, Scotland versus England, the other game. Nice bit of work in the breakdown from Selvin Davids. Once again gets that ball back. Going to the left-hand side, Tristan Lades. Nice take from Zane Davids. That is his first carry of this first half. Selvin Davids trying to find the next gap. Good low tackle made from Shay Clark. 2 men in the New Zealand breakdown. Not really. I feel like, am I in the same boat as yourself, Fleshin? How after Scotland had that moment in the end of their game up against the French, like some of the wind has been taken out of the Six Nations comp, because I think a lot of people wanted to see the deciding game of Ireland versus Scotland be like both sides undefeated up to that stage, or just Six Nations not quite doing it this year for yourself. Penalty to New Zealand. I actually got bad news. I'm sick and in the hospital, so hopefully you do get better soon, Brandon. Hospital must have good Wi-Fi though, to be fair. Now loose ball over the top. Oh, Davids has stolen it again. And it's picked up by Oosthuizen, but there is just a little knock on from Selvin Davids. What's up, Hamish? Australia won the T20 series. Is New Zealand playing badly or Australia played very well? Says Cody, I mean, the second match, New Zealand played poorly. And, I mean, losing Devon Conway wasn't going to help, but they just didn't look very good at all, making poor decisions with the bat. That first match, I mean, New Zealand easily could have won it. At the end of the day, 4 runs needed off the last ball. They either go to the boundary or they don't. So I feel like first match is probably a much better judgment of how New Zealand can play. And I mean, Australia played well in that game as well, chasing down the total required. But yeah, second match just didn't quite have that same feel as the first, I don't think. Now that's going to be the penalty. Sounds like New Zealand are going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Kulia Rokalisoa making sure that one goes into touch. If New Zealand can score now, they would take the lead for the first time in this contest. That would be the perfect time to do so. Heading into halftime, you'd have the momentum in their favour. South Africa's defence. That is something that has been talked about quite often throughout the Sevens circuit. Nicely taken there by Shea Clark. Wrestled towards the touchline from Zane Davids and Ryan Oosterhuizen, the two enforcers of this Blitzboks team. Inside ball. Joe Weber gets it now from Akulia Rokalisoa. And now bugger Scotland. I'm just not looking forward to getting pumped by Ireland. That's probably fair. Because, well, it probably will happen. I was about to say you never know, but yeah. If Wales won that, Fleshin, that's probably, would you say, the biggest upset that the Six Nations has to offer at this point? Like, of course, Italy beating someone would be massive. Like, if Italy beat France, I think it would be considered bigger. But Wales beating Ireland in Ireland, like, not many teams doing that recently. I got my data hospital network is bad. I'm going home, I think, this afternoon. So here's Brandon. And there's our big run forward from Zane Davids. This half is still going, ladies and gentlemen. Neither side wanting to put this ball into touch. Instead, they want to keep on going, try and score the try. And Sullivan Davids has cut the Kiwis open. And he is actually doing a bit of individual brilliance throughout this game. Kiwi subscribers are so loyal watching live stream in hospital. We've had people watching from all over the place. We've had people watching while they're at the stadium, like in the stand, listening to us talk about a game that they are watching live, which is a really weird feeling. Who do you think will win Super Rugby season, says PSG? I think at the moment, for me, it's between the Blues and probably either Crusaders or Chiefs. I think that they're still my top options. Oh yeah, and I'll be dying of alcohol poisoning if we did, says Flesh in there. And I think you'd be, that's the thing, how many days in a row, because Gareth, I think you'll remember it as well, Flesh, and when Gareth went on his alcohol binge, and he was like two weeks straight just going for it. I feel like you'd probably be able to beat that record if Wales beat Ireland. Although, oh no, you'd have 2 weeks because that's when the next game comes around. I'm from Utstrun in South Africa, says Anthony. I think I said that wrong. Yeah, dumb things are covering Fiji and Drua versus Blues if I home, says Brandon. We are also covering that game, I should mention, ladies and gentlemen. First game of Super Rugby that we will be covering on the channel. We are taking the day off cricket so that we can cover the Sevens as well as the Super Rugby. And Highlanders, yeah, says PSG. I mean, to be fair, the Highlanders, they have got a good first game under their belt with Moana Pacifica. As long as they win that, I feel like they'll be on the right track. And they've actually got a pretty decent side. You know, Tava Nawai, he's gone down south. A few other handy enough players for the Highlanders this year. Currently half-time in this matchup between these two sides, though. Be great. But please don't die fleshing so we can cheer with you, says Mikhail. And there we cover some cricket as well. In the midst of rugby, probably not, no. Not for this weekend. At the end of the day, we've already got about 15 or 20 hours worth of rugby that we will be covering. I think I'm getting like 3 hours sleep across the next 3 nights. So, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to cover some cricket in there as well, unfortunately. He was on mad combos as well. I think that we're very lucky to still have Gareth Fleshin after that patch of... Yeah, there was some strange choices in terms of mixing. And come on, South Africa, great first half, says Yanlu. And also versus Blues round 2 is our test. Says PSG, but it's going to be kicked off, not retained by New Zealand. So South Africa have got the ball again, and they are up 14 points to 5 at the moment. And straight through, Tristan Lades. Has he got the pace? It looks like he will. Akulia Rokalisoa will not catch, and the Blitzboks are dominating New Zealand at this point. Within 25 seconds, they have scored themselves another try in the second half. That is his first of Vancouver, his 4th of the Sevens circuit. Is there a Sevens competition this year at the Olympics? There certainly is. And I think we know about 8. Oh, I'm not sure how many of the teams we actually know already. I know we definitely know 5. 6. Yeah, 6, I think. I have to stay alive. Oh, to see Wales versus France, says Fletchers. Yeah, so I would recommend being almost sober by that point. That kick has gone over, though, for the South Africans. 21 points to 5. All right, from Colombia, go the Blitzy, says Neil Harvey. And they have started this Sevens competition on a roll. They have played 100 matches between these two sides. They've got New Zealand have won 5 of the last 8 meetings. They've actually won 4 of the last 5. So this would be very impressive for the Blitzboks. Definitely if the match continues in this fashion. New Zealand need 3 tries to get themselves in the lead here. Going to be kicked off by Cody Vi Oosterhuizen. Just showing off that power, but he did tackle him a little bit high. Did you see the amazing game last night? Chiefs vs Crusaders. I did. Before I piss out, I be rushed to hospital, says Brandon. I did not know. I was actually at a wedding during the stage of that match. So every once in a while, I'll be honest, I checked my phone. I just had a little look and went, oh yeah. I think the score that I saw before full time was 29-22, I think it was. Or 20-something 22 in favour of the Chiefs. It's going to be a knock-on this time. Oh, in fact, no, sorry, forward pass from New Zealand. What do you think about tomorrow's game? Ireland's under 20, good win versus Wales. Tonight, says Dennis. Yeah, they look dominant. The Irish under 20s I know Italy were in the lead. Did they end up beating France? I know at half-time they were up. Did they hang on? That looked like South Africa were very close to offside for that one. South Africa really working hard. Try and shut down. Oh, Antoine Dupont warming up at the moment. Of course, he is going to be in action very soon. I don't think I've ever seen Antoine Dupont wear a singlet. Or like a tank top, for anyone who doesn't say singlet. I think he's always had sleeves, or at least some form of sleeves, when I've seen him. I'm just checking the under 20 result, because I'm very curious. Did France come back? Oh, no, they didn't. 23 points to 20. Italy's under 20s are actually very, very handy. They're sitting third at the moment. 33-29 at full time. Chiefs is going to keep their winning streak this year too. So here's Brandon. I'll be pissed in Cardiff for that game. And also saludos. Condors. Winner Kiwi Lad says, Jorge, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Are France playing soon? They are playing, I believe it is next in their game up against Canada. Is who they are playing. Yep, Italy beat the French. So yeah, Italy's under 20. If they can bring in those players eventually to the top competition, I feel like they'll be a real handful. Julio Roccoli. So 3.5 minutes remaining. And Impivisa just holding up New Zealand, ragdolling him. And Tristan Lades has taken that ball back. New Zealand do win the penalty though. Is Dupont playing? He will be playing. And has he played yet for Sevens? Not quite, but he is about maybe 10 minutes away from making his debut. And the Sevens for France. Rough pass there. Nothing going right at the moment for New Zealand. Something that is slightly beneficial for other teams who are playing South Africa in the future is the fact they have given away 6 penalties. Now Joe Webber looking for the offload. It's loose. Selvin David's trying to swoop on that opportunity. He's already scored 2 tries. Looking for his third, but he's given away the penalty in the breakdown. New Zealand taking another quick tap. They've scored once in this match, although watching them here, you just wouldn't think it. It doesn't seem to be any sort of shape or structure to their defence. Another knock on, but it's another penalty. It's like Roscoe Spickman this time, a little bit slower, getting back to his feet. New Zealand take the quick tap. They've got numbers on the outside. New Zealand outpaced, outmuscled, outplayed, but Cody Vi gets through the defensive line, and that will be the second try for New Zealand. They're not quite out of this game yet. You're right, mate. Ireland barely beat Italy. Our last game in court, says Dennis. Yeah, I think that one went to the wire too, didn't it? If I'm correct. One moment, we're going to have a look. Yeah, 23 points to 22. So even games that Italy are losing, like, they're right in it. And they've had that win. Oh, sorry, they lost to England under 20. And then they've had those couple close games in there as well. But nice work from Cody Vi. Wait a minute, are you going to cricket today, Hamish? No cricket today on the channel. We have got the Super Rugby, of course, and we've also got the Sevens taking place tomorrow that we will be covering alongside the Six Nations throughout the night that we are also doing now. David Benjamin Britz, nice shot on him by, I think that was Roderick Solo. So he got the scrum cap on. Now Tristan Lades kicks it in behind, drifting towards the touchline, and it does just go into touch. 80 seconds remaining. New Zealand do not have a lot of time left. They want to be, of course, within that 7 point to get at least one bonus point out of this contest, but alongside that, they would need another try after to get themselves the win. I mean, in real life, I'm going to go watch, but I'm not going to be playing because of these streams that we have got. I've decided that this week, seeing as we also had the wedding yesterday, I'm going to take this week off, but I'm still going to go down and watch both games because they're both taking place locally. So going down with George and Daniel. They'll be there for, I'd say, 30 minutes max because they both don't really like cricket, and then I'll stay till Super Rugby. Got 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here. A long way to go for New Zealand. Now, ball's thrown in. Nicely taken by Sam Dixon. Well claimed, Kulia Rockily. So it flicks it on. Another drop ball from New Zealand. Oh, okay, referee says play on. I actually thought there was a knock on there from New Zealand. Looks like the boots are slipping. Of course, there's a little bit of an adjustment period here that you've got to get used to. Being on the AstroTurf, pass down wide. Oh, that's a high tackle from Finney Norfolk. It's going to be held up. Right, it's going to be a 5 metre scrum to South Africa. That is one thing that Sevens has not incorporated from the Union game. There's no goal line dropouts. You're just straight back into the action. 5 metres out for the scrum. I love to see Italy big lads do well in the Six Nations. They lose too many in the past few years. So here's Dennis. So they're just talking about, I think that's Carl Tanana has said that South Africa's backline is extremely offside in multiple times throughout this matchup, but the referee is not calling it, so I guess you got to play to the whistle. South Africa doing that extremely well. That was a forward pass by about 4 metres from the Wolves human, and that is going to be the end of this match, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa do get themselves the victory, 21 points to 12. New Zealand will not receive the bonus point. South Africa get full points available, and now New Zealand, just like they were in Perth, they will have to play the catch-up game. They missed out on the quarterfinals. South Africa, they made it through, but then they were defeated. So they want to change that, take out the Vancouver Sevens title. Hey, Hamish, if you've got Sevens game covering when Super Rugby's on, I'll be able to help you if you need. Keep it in mind. I don't mind. Brandon, you are in the hospital at the moment. So I think the last thing you'll feel like doing when you get home is going straight into some commentary. But Ireland versus Great Britain, just about to take place, ladies and gentlemen. And then also, like I said earlier on, we have got that game taking place between the Canadians and the French just a little bit later on. But we are not covering that one. Our next game that we are covering is going to be at 11:55 a.m. So that is in 40 minutes time for the next match that we are doing on the channel. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We are back tomorrow, like I mentioned, with more of the Sevens and also later on Super Rugby Pacific between the Fijian Droi and the Blues. And then also alongside that, we have got the Six Nations in the middle of the night. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.